Yeah.
I got it.
Now, the situation that you have where they read the things from the past, a lot of times readers, because time and distance is an illusion. So a lot of things a spirit drops to them are just things that could be past, present, or future.
Hmm.
They don't, some of them, if they're not that advanced, especially if they're not using astrology, they may not know the timeline that they're pulling from. But it's still an example of, okay, something is going on out here, even if they
Hmm.
can pull something from the past. Like,
Yeah.
how are you able to do that if you don't even know?
Yeah.
So originally we were all just telepathic and we all knew in our and we're going back to that form because of the way the planets are rotating in evolution. We're going back to our original form, and now people just think it's magical powers and, oh, what's going on oh, we're awakening and we're doing all this. No, we're just going back to our original. Everything is rotation. The planet is always going to rotate, so things are always going to go up, then they're gonna go down. We're gonna be in darkness, then we're gonna be in light. It just depends on what these planets are doing out here and what's going on with us, and we have to evolve and adapt to it.
Hmm.
So we're going back to those times, the original time. That's why everybody want to go green, go natural, plant stuff, and go to telepathic. Oh, I was just thinking about you, because that's just the way things were in the beginning.
Yeah. That's interesting. Even like, so when you say that, even like with, I'm gonna say black women because I'm black and that's my experience, so I can speak on that. But I think it's true for all women in some way. But for black women, just our return to natural hair, right? So even that to me is kind of, um, just for lack of a better word, like an awakening, or like a return to self, right? So,
Mhm.
just being in the position where I had a corporate job, and I would my hair would be stick straight, like straight, like it had to conform and behave, right? So, there were times where maybe I would have wear my hair in its natural state, but during that time I would feel so uncomfortable, like, oh my gosh, like my curls, like I don't want my curls to um show themselves, or be uh unruly or whatever it might be. But after I left the corporate environment, I just had this really strong urge to just let go of that and be myself. And I just really thought about, well, would I, why do I need to apologize for the way that my hair grows out of my head, And with that, honestly, that aligned with my spiritual journey.
Mhm.
It all aligned. It was all happening at the same time. The more I returned to myself, the more aware I became of myself, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
makes sense. Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. And I think that that's just what's happening. It's just like with the things that we use on our skin now. Anything that's not organic or natural, if you notice, some of those things aren't working anymore. They're not working on you anymore. Just old traditional deodorant is not, the body's not responding to that like it used to.
Hmm.
Or if you have something with too many chemicals, you break out, you get itchy, like you're not responding to that or the GMOs. You're responding to the opposite. And a lot of it is just really out of our control. We just have to evolve with what's going on around
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
So, with your spiritual journey, and you launched your podcast, What Soul Sisters Say. What made you? How did you birth that idea to launch the podcast and your content that you have?
Oh my God. I think we were just sitting around one day. Right, y'all?
it. It was quarantine. You remember? It was
Yeah.
quarantine that
Yeah.
started. And we were talking about what was going on. And then we just said we might as well, because there wasn't anything else to do, like she said. And we just decided, let's start recording it and share, because we were having so many conversations about what was going on. So we were just trying to think. And then, just our whole journey that brings us up to here, because I knew we're in Gemini North Node. That's in my chart. I have Gemini North Node in my chart. So part of my destiny is to communicate with the world. And then Dara was trying to get out of, working behind the chair, being a barber. So she wants to go into public speaking and do so. It was just kind of just aligning. And then Nalo's always more or less like the journalist type. She does a lot of reading. She does a lot of writing. So it was just a fun way for us to see each other talk. And we just wanted to share it. It wasn't really a plan. I mean, I guess it kind of was planned, but not planned. You know what I mean? Part of the divine plan. And when we started doing it, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but when I started doing it, I don't know, I just really, I just vibed with it. It just felt so natural to be involved in it and to do it. And I love doing it. Creating. I just love creating anyway, but I particularly love this project.
I can tell. Like, you seem very passionate about it.
Right before I moved to even my journey to see, a white woman asked me this when I was in my moving truck coming out here, and I had stopped to go to a little farmer's market just to take a little break before I drove out here. And she asked me, she just walked up to me, just like you have a lot of these experiences if you go out to LA. It's crazy stuff, but this was a nice, crazy thing that happened. And she just was like, what is your legacy gonna be? What are you gonna, when she was an older white woman, she said, when you leave, what are you gonna leave? And she said, I feel like you have a lot to say, and I feel like you are supposed to be out here in the, in the world, and I'm very behind the scenes. I'm very introverted and I'm very quiet. So doing this is really opposite of my personality. But I've been told that so much when I was in California those 3 years. When it happened, it just seemed like it was natural. It was supposed to happen. Yeah. When I go back in my little journals and read, there's a lot of synchronicities that include and involve this. Just a all-female board of directors and women working together, building, forming groups and supporting one another. All that's in my journals from '07. Just from fantasizing and dreaming and having visions about different things.
Yeah. So as you and I love your platform. I really do. I think it's so every episode is so interesting to me, and the things that you guys talk about, and the topics you provide context to, like, real life issues that are taking place, but from a different perspective. You offer that spiritual lens, which I think is really, really refreshing. How do you you know as you begin to, like, evolve and grow, sometimes friendships start to look different along that journey? It's like, did you experience anything like that? And then how important are your friendships in your life?
You know what? I had the same circle of friends growing up, and it's interesting because really, I would say it was a small group. I would say only one of them kind of fell away, but the ones that stayed, we're all in alignment spiritually. And I believe in soul groups.
Yeah.
The people that travel with you throughout life, and then you have the same things in common, and they actually help you get from A to B throughout life. So,
okay.
And the ones that are not in alignment with you, as with anything else, is going to automatically fall off anyway. Fall away.
Yeah. And you guys agree with that?
I think what's the question again?
So as you've evolved, spiritually, sometimes when we adopt different ideas that maybe aren't in alignment with what mainstream might feel, that your friends might feel a certain type of way. They might become offended. They might feel that they no longer relate to you.
Yeah.
Did you have any experience like that? And if so, or if not, how important are those friendships in your life?
Yeah, that's what threw me off the friend part because I've never really had a lot of friends.
Okay.
And but now that I'm older, I've learned to value the relationships that I do have. So, and I still really wouldn't call them friends just because I feel like my where I am spiritually, it just connects to a portion of where any of the people that I have in my life connect to. I feel like my sisters probably connect a whole lot more than anyone outside of my circle. I have two girlfriends, but like I said, one of them she's was a minister's wife, so she's still sold out for Jesus. And one of my other girlfriends is still, she has her own, which we all respect each other's viewpoint and we have fun when we're together. But it's not that I don't think I have any friendship that's just perfect from top to bottom, where everything aligns. If a certain area aligns here, then we don't align there. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
We agree and we appreciate each other's differences, but I think that's as far as it goes.
Hmm.
I think I kind of vibe more with nature and animals. I probably have more in common with that type of thing or in crystals than people.
Okay. Okay. Nalo?
Um, I think I'm very different than both of them. Um, I think that I believe that friendships are important. However, like I've had many names throughout my whole entire life. Okay, I've had that kind of speaks to the different parts of me. I would say the same thing about my friends or my female associates. I have a
Yeah.
lot of people that I interact with. I can't say that there are a lot of people that I talk about my spiritual practices with, or my yoga, or my crystals, or anything like that, because those are not the things that they're really exhibiting, and they
Yeah.
are speaking loudly or showing what their practices are, and I respect that. So, not that I'm hiding it, it's just that is an area
Yeah.
where we don't connect. Whereas, like Keisha was saying, there's some areas that we connect in, and some areas that we don't. So, the older that I get, I do find more value in a even exchange of energy with your friends.
Hmm.
So I'm always down for a good time, but I don't always. I'm not always going to be doing that because our interests are kind of growing separately and doing separate things.
Hmm.
So you have friends for certain things.
Yeah.
That
No.
makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. I totally get that. Just having you have you can have friends in different buckets, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of compartmentalize sometimes. Like you have a certain set of friends where you have A in common with, or a certain set of
Mhm.
friends you have B in
Right.
common with. It's rare that um, one person or one friend would check all of the different boxes of interest that
Right.
you have.
Yeah.
So that makes sense for sure. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, unlike Nalo, I'm extremely verbal about my spirituality, no matter who the person is.
Hmm.
Like that comes secondary to who I am. So I don't filter my mouth around certain people. I just am who I am. And I don't think it offends people. I mean it might. I don't really worry about that.
It's
But that's
it's
because
not so much as a filter as that's kind of just more like a thing that's just for me. So I'm not just
Yeah.
whereas Keisha, she never meets a stranger, so she's talking. She'll talk to anybody, which I respect that. But there are certain things that I'm just kind of doing for me, and kind of that's just kind of more of my thing. So
I
that's kind
understand.
of where we differ on
I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I definitely believe I'm on mission to run my mouth about
that.
spirit, and you need to get this work. and figure it out. Because I think a lot of people that come into my life, it's a divine appointment, and I come to ruffle feathers. I come to expose truth. I come to, bring whatever I'm supposed to be bringing. I always felt it when I was growing up that was a bad thing. That I'm tearing things apart, or I'm making things not work.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see where I'm here to do. I came to, rescue you from your own messed up situation, and to have you shine your light as bright as possible so you can be who you really are, just like I'm who I really am. God rescued me. So, and I don't push it on people, but I'm not, if I see stuff, if I go in someone's house and they're married and I see some stuff going on, I'm probably the person that's going to say something. Not to be disrespectful,
Yeah.
but I feel so passionate about what I see. I have to say something. Just like when they were doing the lawn and they were ripping all the good branches off the tree. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like the branches aren't dead. Why are you pulling the branches from the tree if the branches aren't dying? As much as we need trees and oxygen and things around here, I got so upset. It bothered me so much. I feel guilty when I don't say something.
Hmm.
When I see an injustice or something happening, I won't be able to sleep if I don't speak. I just believe I'm an oracle like that, where God puts it in me and I have to speak it, whoever it is, even with people I don't know. If I'm on social media, I'll share, because it's like the information isn't really coming from me. It's just passing through me. So that's probably why I feel so obligated to say things when, and I get so many women divorced. You don't even understand. I get so many women divorced around here. I used to think it was a bad thing. I'm sorry. I used to think it was a bad thing, but now I see that I feel like I'm a soldier.
How did that happen? What did that look like?
It looks like when I meet these different women, like one time I went to a friend's house. I was dating this guy. We went to his cousin's house, and his wife was boiling big pots of water on the stove. And I was just like, damn, what they cooking? What they getting ready to cook? Because I love it. So I was just like, ooh, we just in time for dinner. So I found out she was boiling hot water to make a bath for the children because the hot water was turned off.
I see.
But then my boyfriend, who was cousins with her husband, are just sitting around laughing, smoking herbs. So I got upset. Because to me, in my head, if you shouldn't be paying for luxuries if you not taking care of your business. You all shouldn't be sitting around here laughing and smoking herb when you could be spending that money to pay for the water bill so these kids could take a hot bath. So I verbalized that, with what was going on. Of course, my boyfriend got upset with me. That was at the time, y'all. But I felt so passionate about it. He wasn't even helping her do it, but that's just not something that should be, to me, that should be going on. And then, and I have another girlfriend and she can never talk around me, or, she just, if a woman is complaining too much about her husband, I'm going to be very verbal in what I think and what I say. And sometimes I'll walk them through that. And I guess women listen and they feel like, yeah, I shouldn't be taking that. No, I shouldn't be dealing with this, and then, they end up divorced. It's been, quite a few women who end up divorced, just like I ended up divorced, because I believe it's part of that, freeing them from, you make this commitment, you think you're supposed to stick with it through the rest of your life, but the person you're committed to has to be coming from a good place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it be holding you back from your true destiny. And it seems like when the women get on the other side, they're happier. And I used to feel guilty for it. And, my mom always said I had a big mouth, but now I see why I have this big mouth. Because one of my other girlfriends said that, she felt like that, that because I was so verbal in what I saw, I played her conscience, and it freed her from her situation. So I don't ever say things just to be trying to be mean or even to be nosy. I feel like if I just feel like it's an injustice being done. It's something being done that's wrong. And it could only be in my eyesight. But if I share it, it's up to you whether you want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
One of the things I noticed on my journey is I feel like I free people from them enslaving themselves, and just like I felt like I was enslaved because I felt like, oh, I had to be married, I have to do this, I don't want the kids to be a product of a divorce, yada 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 yada. And in the whole while I'm drowning and I'm miserable and I'm extremely unhappy every day. And then you divorce or you go through this situation and you see it's not that bad. It's just your fear made it seem like it was bigger than it actually was. And you free everybody. You free yourself, your children, and you free this man when you line up to what's real for you. So some of them get married, and they always do better. It's like some of these dark entities come to suppress you and hold you back from your destiny and what you're really supposed to be doing. It's almost like if you a seed and you're supposed to grow into this flower, it's just like it's covered up with this mass. And then when that's removed, then you can bloom into who you're really supposed to be. And 9 times out of 10, it's women who are with men who are really beneath them. They're not as spiritual. They're not as loving. They're not evolving. They're just holding you back. They're just holding you back. Just holding you down. Just like if you're in a job you don't like, it's holding you back. It's holding you down. You're not happy. So it's just breeding negativity. Exactly. Or friendship. You're being oppressed. So I'm definitely here to free the oppressed. I just believe I was a warrior, like a warrior in my past life, a warrior for righteousness, for things that I feel that are right. And just for truth. And everybody should have a truth. You shouldn't feel ashamed of it. And you shouldn't, just because my truth is my truth and Zara Nalo has a different truth, I adopt the philosophy of agree to disagree, and it's okay. You don't hold anything against someone for their truth, but you can hold something against someone when they're not exposing or sharing with you what they should tell you. How many people in your life actually come to you and tell you the truth about you? People don't do that. People don't really do that to me, but I would appreciate that. But a lot of people don't. I don't know if they're afraid to tell you what they see, or I don't know why people don't do that, but I think more people should do that. I think that would help humanity if more people were verbalizing what they see and what their truth is to them. So you can either fix it, you can twerk it, you can think about it. You can work with information you can work with, but if no one is ever telling you anything, or if I would have gone to that house and went home and never said anything about the boiling water, what could have happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. It's obvious that you are very much a truth seeker and a truth teller, and you're not afraid to be authentically you. So I think that's awesome.
It gets you outcasted now. It gets you blacklisted.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, fired from I don't know how many jobs, but I don't know. I just feel like if I do the opposite, it's killing me on the inside. You know what I mean? I will be the oppressed. I will be oppressed.
Yeah.
Did the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you have to be yourself. So.
Yeah.
I have one final question for you all. And it's kind of a loaded one. But what do you think that COVID-19 is teaching us?
Definitely loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the COVID-19 is definitely teaching us to be still and go within. That was always what I thought from the beginning, especially when people started just dropping like flies. I'm like, okay. and I always say this on my platform. I always think everything is spiritual first and then becomes physical, just like they said in the Bible, right? The book of Genesis, it says he spoke things into existence, right? So that's just how my brain is wired. I feel like everything happens spiritually first, and then you see it manifest itself, right? So I feel like COVID-19 was asking us to sit down, be still. And what I got, like Keisha was saying earlier, I can hear, but I can also see. And so when I wake up sometimes out of my sleep state, I see energy around my room. And sometimes it comes in different forms, right? And so this particular time, right after this all started happening, I started seeing, I woke up into a long black line in my room. And the first thing that when I got up, I was like, okay, spirit, what is this? And the first thing that came to my mind, my first thought, which is spirit, intuition, that's the one you have to trust. It says, he says scars, wounds, pain. You have to, we are sitting in an experience where we have to no longer hold on to nothing that's serving us. We have to get rid of the old scars and wounds and pain that's keeping us from ascending into heaven, because right now we're sitting dead smack in the middle of the book of Revelations, and we're ascending. So back in the old days where they were saying, which they still do today, but we moved away from religion, so I put it in the back of my mind, where they tell us that we're going to be called up and raptured into the heavens. Well, no, it's going to be a mental, spiritual rapture where you're ascending mentally, not physically. And then you can't take that stuff with you. So scars, wounds, old pains, or whatever you're holding on to, gotta go.
I
You
love
cannot
that.
ascend. Think of it like this. You can't float if you're way down with a bunch of heavy stuff. You know what I mean? So the heavy stuff has to go so that you can float and
Yeah.
ascend. That's what, to me, what COVID-19 was. It's like that whole attention. I got your attention now.
Yeah.
Be still.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay. So then, oh, and we have 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
no, you're fine. No, I love it, but we have 4 minutes left. So, but I do want to I think this is a very important question. I wish I had left more time for it. So,
Well, mine is really quick. I mean, I agree with what Dara said. I love that analogy. My is teaching us what's important, because they shut all this down and told us to go home,
yeah.
okay, and deal with it. Deal with what's in there. Deal with what's going on. Don't even worry about what's going on out here. Deal with what's going on. And what's in there is what? You, family, your thoughts, your dreams. I mean, every single thing. Deal with it and find out what's important. And so when we're coming out of this, that's the vein you need to be moving in. What's important? What stands out to you the most? What are you passionate about? Those That to me is the lesson.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a reset and a rebuild. It's teaching us to reset and rebuild. You know, it's just like another opportunity for, like, you know, they say you live many lives, and you have many chapters in your life. This is just a new life, a new chapter. It's an opportunity to create something new, to really look at your life, look where you've come from, see where you are now, and decide where you want to go. So I think it's been an awesome experience to be able to do that, you know, to just be able to sit back, like a timeout. You know, we really need that. We really need to do that every year. We really need to do this every year, at least for 2 months. So we just chilling.
Yeah. Maybe without the virus though.
Yeah, without that part, most definitely.
Yeah, without the virus, but yeah, sit down and relax. Yeah, I think so too. Just it definitely was an opportunity. I feel like we had to sit down, recharge, and get ready for change.
Right, exactly.
So,
Definitely, yeah.
well, I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time to like spend this time with me and answer all these questions and dig deep and share so much. I really learned a lot, and thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. It was a pleasure. It was fun, ladies.
It was.
Awesome. Okay. Well, take
All
care.
right. Thanks.
All
Have
right,
a
you
phenomenal day.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.